Hey guys, on a few minutes early, kind of hang out for a bit, let some people join us and hop on. You have any questions, go ahead and hop in the chat box and type away. We can get to know each other a little bit before we get started. It's going to be a really great time here, probably 45 minutes to maybe an hour at most, depending on how many questions we have, but I'm going to make sure I deliver as much content as possible, really help you guys get started and get launched with your own best-selling book, how to write, publish, and launch a best-selling book in 60 days. And so, yeah, any questions, hop in the chat box and say where you're from and where you're calling in from. And we'll get started here in a few minutes. Just want to let a few more people hop on and kind of bounce around a little bit and get to know each other. I'll make sure I type in here as well. So there you go. So yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes, right at 1 o'clock there. I like to start on time and end on time, so I'll make sure that it is filled up with some great content the whole way. Any questions you guys have, feel free to ask, and I'll make sure they get answered. We'll dive in here in a few minutes. So we're going to talk about how to write, publish, and launch a best-selling book in 60 days or less. I'm going to break down kind of how I've done that, how I've helped my clients do that, oh, hey, Max from DC. Nice to have you on, Max. So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat box, and I'll answer along the way. I'll have a few questions for you guys during the webinar here, during the training, and make sure to answer there, and we can really get the most out of it for you guys. And for me as well. I want it to be definitely a give and take for all of us, so we can be interactive and we can really maximize our time together. So and get the most out of it. A lot of trainings that are on there. You're welcome. You're welcome, Max. A lot of trainings, are out there. It's kind of the one person talking and kind of going to town on everything. And although I do want to over deliver on the content, I want to make sure that it's interactive and you guys get the most out of it. And really get what you came for, so it's it's fulfilling for you guys. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want my time to be wasted. I want to make sure that we all can get there. Hey, Jessica from San Diego. Oh, I love San Diego. I'm going out there December 1st. I'll be out in San Diego checking out some places. I'm from Seattle, and I might be moving to California here soon. So yeah, great location to be in. Welcome, Jessica. Now we got a few more people hopping on, and yeah, go ahead and type in the chat box, say where you're from, and if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll kind of dive in here in a few more minutes. We'll get going and get started. So a little bit about me, I kind of I grew up in a rough household and everything, and being an author is something that really changed my life. Oh, Jessica says not related to Malcolm, are you? No, I'm not. Hey, Jared, well, Wisconsin, nice to have you here, man. We're having people from all over the states here. No, I'm not related to Malcolm. It's funny, when my friends buy my books, they always take pictures of him next to Malcolm Gladwell. So it's a huge compliment. I've read all his books, The Outliers, What the Dog Saw, Blink. I always tell people when they ask me that I'm the outlier the dog saw when he blinked. So yeah, it's Malcolm's a great author. So great to have you guys on, and glad you guys are here. We'll wait a few more minutes to get everyone on board, and we'll dive right in. Like I said earlier, I want to over deliver the content, really make sure I don't waste anyone's time, and then don't waste my time either, and make sure this training is really jam-packed with some good information. I've previously only done this to private mastermind groups who have paid me for it, and so I did it enough times to where people really enjoyed it, got great results from it, were able to implement right away. So I wanted to kind of take it to the public and get out there and deliver it. So so I hope you guys get the most out of it like they have, and they have it kind of locked up in their vaults in there. So I think it'll be good. Again, it's going to be how to write, publish, and launch a best-selling book in 60 days. I've done it myself. I've helped clients do it. This isn't something that's theory. This is something that's been practiced and tested. So so I'll make sure that we deliver. Rockstar. Thanks, Jared. Really appreciate it, man. My goal is to help everyone be a rock star, right? Everyone do this and make it happen. So So that's what we're going to do today. Just a few more minutes, we'll hop on and get started here. You know, I know you guys have come from all over the states here, and so I'm excited to have you and make sure that we jam pack this with some great content. So it should be just a few more minutes. I think it's 12:56 now, so about 1 o'clock we'll jam out. And at the end as well, guys, I'll be giving away a free membership site through ClickFunnels. It's like a $4,500 site that you guys can tweak and test and play around with. So you know, make sure to stay to the end, and I'll make sure to email that off to all you guys who are here. You know, a nice membership site so you can really get going and deliver your own content. You know, I mean, that's the big thing with having a book. It's not just about, you know, getting something published and having it out there, but it's really about building a business around it. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today too, is not only how to write, publish, and launch a best-selling book, but what do you do after you have a best-selling book? You know, what do you do when that book is on the shelves? You know, not just how do you get book sales, but how do you build a business around that book? And so that's part of why I want to give away the membership site, is so you can, you know, have some content to deliver to your clients, to your tribe, to your people out there, and really move forward. So just a few more minutes, we'll get going. I see a few more people have hopped on. Go ahead, if you just hopped on, introduce yourself in the chat box. We got Jared, we got Jessica, we got Max already in there chatting away. Go ahead and introduce yourself and where you're from. Say hi to everyone, and we can all make this, you know, interactive and not just me kind of talking away, but we can all talk together and really maximize this. Like I've said a couple times, I really don't like wasting anyone's time. I hate when I'm on a training and it's all about me. Obviously, I'll give you guys a little bit of background on me so you know who you're listening to, but I really want to make sure that the majority of this is going to be focused on the content for you guys, so you guys can take this and take action right away, and we can get going. So 12:58, you know what, since we got some people on, I don't want to make you guys wait any longer. We'll go ahead and get started here and get moving forward, and then we'll kind of let other people hop on. You can't see me or hear me. Can you guys hear me now? All right, let me see if I can get this going again. Give it a sec here. Yep, Jared can. Okay, so you can hear me again. Let me give it a second, let my screen pop up. Now I can. I tried to reconnect. Okay. I apologize. I wonder why that's having a problem there. Webinar Jam seems to be kind of glitchy. So let's see here. We got that popped up. There we go. All right. I think we're back in action, everybody. Appreciate waiting through the technical difficulties of Webinar Jam. They're going to be fixing this soon with the Google Hangout. So Jessica, Max, Jared, everyone's back on. Okay, so I'll dive right back in. Like I said, I want to start a few minutes early. So, why you should stay till the end really is to learn how to write, publish, and launch your own best-selling book in 60 days or less. And then we're going to dive into, how to have a system we use and our clients use to launch new products and services in any market, and what that looks like, with a book, and how that works with having your own best-selling book, and kind of being able to, use a best-selling book for a business. Like I said, it's not so much just about like having the credibility and the authority. That's a huge part of your market. That's going to be a huge part of establishing that with your clients, right? When you're a best-selling author, it's a different kind of energy you give off and a different appearance you give off to people out there in the world. And we want to make sure you have that as well. But what's the business on the back end? And then know with absolute confidence that you can make consistent sales in your business from anywhere in the world, because that's really what it comes down to, is being able to know that, you have that credibility, you have that authority, and you can make consistent sales, anywhere in the world, with your best-selling book. And that's kind of what I want to break down with this training, is all of that together. And then at the very end, I'm going to give away a free membership site, like I mentioned. So once you have, your best-selling book and you have it written, you can have a business built around it, and then you can have a free membership site to deliver your content, through ClickFunnels, and really be able to make videos and audio files and everything, all through that. So I'll be emailing that to you guys at the end once, everyone stays through. And, here's the truth. Most entrepreneurs have real problems building authority in their market, which in turn makes it hard to consistently make sales online. You see the big gurus and the big talking heads out there, and they're always kind of killing it. They're always doing, huge launches, $3 million launches, or $100,000 in a few days. And the little guys, all those little guys out there that aren't quite there yet, don't know how to really do that and make that happen. And, I've worked my way in from being kind of an outsider into, all these different top level masterminds, and now been able to connect with people like Kevin Harrington and all these kind of, bigger guys that are doing these big launches. And there's a secret they have, and it's really the credibility and the authority. And when they have that, they can JV with other people and do joint ventures and really make it happen. And so I kind of wanted to help others do that as well, because once you have that best-selling author status and you have your book in place, there's a lot more connections you can make, from TV interviews to mastermind talks. I get invited to speak at masterminds now, to podcasts, been on Fox News, all these different things, all because I had a best-selling book. And I want to help you guys be able to build that as well. And in the next hour, I'm going to show you a proven strategy that works in every market, isn't expensive, and you can implement immediately, so you don't have to waste any time to make that happen. And so in the chat box, if you guys could, go ahead and answer these 3 questions. Have you ever wanted to publish a best-selling book? If yes, why haven't you yet? And if no, what else could build you authority faster than that? And that's what I'd like to find out, because the reality is, I think it's, the average is 1 in 3 Americans want to build or want to publish a best-selling book. And a lot of people just really don't know how to or where to go. And so I want to see if that's something you guys have wanted to do. If you ever wanted to publish a best-selling book, and if you have, why haven't you yet? And kind of what's held you back? So Jared says, yes, still need to promote, write the next 50 books. That's right. That's right, Jared. And once you write the book, it's like, how do you promote it, and how do you get in front of the podcast, and how do you get in front of the masterminds? And and that's part of what this training is about. It's kind of like breaking down the secrets to that, and finding out how you can really be able to get in front of the right audience, and because that's so key when you have a course or a program or coaching or anything, is get in front of your ideal customer. So, most people haven't because they never really thought about it until now. It's not something that really crossed their mind, or they're nervous about the tech setup. They're not good with computers. They don't know how to necessarily launch the correct way or get it published online. Max says, yes, I've been writing other people's projects and now interested in writing my own. That's good, Max. I did a lot of that when I was, previously I did a lot of work helping, a lot of people do their own thing and launch their own thing. And then I finally did it myself, and it really changed a lot of things for me. And Jessica says, yes, I haven't yet because I'm still working on it. That's good. At least you're working on it, right? You're taking action, Jessica. So So that's good. You guys are at least on the process and on the road, moving forward. And so, yeah, most people haven't, because they don't know, they don't have anything to sell. They don't know where to do, or their fear of not being good enough, like, who am I? I get that a lot with even successful entrepreneurs. They're like, who am I to write a book? Who am I to be an author? And honestly, I believe that, if you have any kind of business, it's the next step. And it's almost like the high school diploma that you need as an entrepreneur nowadays. A coach or a consultant or any kind of business you're building, online products, you really kind of need that authority, right? And that credibility. And so we have to get over that fear of not being good enough, not sure about the content, right? That's another struggle a lot of people have is what's the content? What am I going to put in it? How do I fill up the content? How do I find what to write about? How do I know what my tribe will actually want to hear? Or they're scared nobody would show up, right? They write this book, they publish it, and then it's crickets, right? And that's a huge fear, right? The rejection and the loss. We all have that. We're human, right? So that's a big part of it. Or they're worried about selling it. How do I promote it? How do I sell it? How do I get the technology to work for me, right? And actually get the promoting, like Jared talked about. How do I get the promoting to work correctly? So in the next 60 minutes, I want everyone here to have the confidence to write, publish, and launch a best-selling book in the next 60 days or less. And that's kind of my goal here, and I'm going to make sure I stay till the end, and if you guys have questions, I'll make sure to answer them, and we'll really make sure that you guys have the confidence to take this and move forward and go with it. And so who am I? Well, my name's Corey Gladwell. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a 2-time best-selling author, and I'm the founder of Author Alliance. And I've been featured on different podcasts. That's Fox News, ABC, all kinds of different things out there. And I really wanted to take what helped me was having a best-selling book, and that's what got me in front of the right audience. That's what got me on TV. That's what got me in these masterminds, being a speaker at private events with some of the top-level entrepreneurs and people that I looked up to when I first got online or first started the business. Being able to connect with these people was something that I never dreamed was possible. And it all happened because I had a best-selling book. And so that's what I kind of wanted to reverse engineer. And this all started because, honestly, 5 years ago, I was a nightclub and restaurant owner. Previous to that, I grew up on Section 8 welfare. So I didn't have a very luxurious life as a kid, but then I wanted success. So I fought my way All right, guys, let me see if I can get back to this again. I'm not sure what is going on here with Webinar Jam. I have never had this many difficulties. All right, are we back? Can we hear it again? Let me see here. Let me see if I can get back to you guys again. All right, you were the last slide of 5 years ago, Section 8 welfare. We hear you again. Yep. All right, thanks, guys. Hey, I really appreciate you guys' help through this. I'm not sure why Webinar Jam wants to have so many issues. David says yes. Okay, Jared, yep. All right, let me get the slides back up. Yeah, hopefully Webinar Jam can just let me deliver on this, guys. They just want to prevent me from telling you guys anything, apparently. So I'm gonna get this back up and going. I don't care how many times I go down. I'm gonna pop back up again and get this moving again. In a few months here, Webinar Jam is getting off of Google Hangouts. So what's happening right now is Google Hangouts. And this will stop happening within about a month or so from now. For anyone who uses Webinar Jam, just know that change is coming. So I'm back to where I was. 5 years ago, I had the nightclub restaurant. I lost it all because I wasn't mentally prepared. Yeah, Max says Webinar Jam has been buggy since Google changed the Hangouts. Yeah, it's been right. David, fall down 9, get up 10. That's right. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna give this to you guys no matter how many times I have to kind of restart this. I'm going to keep going. So, so 4 years ago, once I lost it all and I didn't have that right mindset of success, I didn't know how to accept success. So I sabotaged myself, and there was no one's fault but my own. I could blame the recession, I could blame a million things, but I don't. I blame myself because I need to take responsibility. And I went inward and I decided to start meditating. And I had a profound spiritual experience where had this unconditional love for everything, and this, this oneness that that I read about in books and different things. But it kind of changed my mindset in my life. And so I dreamt of building a transformation-based business. I was meditating, and I really wanted to give a transformation-based type business. I wanted to help people make a difference, not just serve them drinks or food like the nightclub or restaurant. I wanted to give them a difference in their lives, give them a new experience of living. And so that was kind of my dream there, and that was kind of what I focused on. And so that dream kind of started to fade, though, because I appreciate that, Max. Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, I really wanted to, the dream started to fade because I really didn't know how to do that. How do you make a difference in people's lives and really give them a new experience? I was used to selling products or food or drinks or something like that, t-shirts and those kind of things. I didn't know what it meant to have a transformation-based business. And so I had to do some research and really dig around, and I stumbled upon meditation, and meditation really transformed my life from the inside out, right? I learned how to be a successful person on the inside first. And so with that, I started reading different books and really studying what it meant to transform yourself. And I figured, what, if I wanted to give a transformation to other people, I need to do that for myself first, because I'm a big person of integrity, and I don't believe I should ever, sell something as a product or service unless I've done it myself in some way, or I've tested it with clients or friends or family. And so, I started reading, and the first book I read was Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a neuroscientist. And then I stumbled on The Alchemist, which I had read when I was a child, but it didn't really sink in ever. I didn't really understand what that meant and what they really were trying to tell me during that process. And so I read it again, and it just blew my mind. And then, I wrote my own book, The Human Experience, and I was really able to put my own experience into a book and give transformation to other people. And so the reviews started coming back, and people started really getting change in their lives and comparing me to Tony Robbins, which just blew my mind, and really getting help from my own work. And so that really gave me the encouragement to not only want to write more books, but I wanted to help other people write their own book, because I thought if I could make a difference from my experience and help people and change their lives, I know there's tons of other people that could do the same. And then I read, tons of different success books and business books, and studied and took thousands of dollars for the online courses, like $50,000 in courses. I spent every spare dollar over the last 3 years, learning everything I could about different types of businesses and really reverse engineering the process. And my life flipped upside down. I knew I was called to serve. I knew I was called to make a greater impact in people's lives and make a huge difference, and really, really take charge of my own life and help others do the same. But it was still a huge change. I didn't really know what to do or where to go necessarily, so I tried to practice. And one little decision that changed my life is that I was introduced to someone, and a group of people actually. But the first person was Dr. Joe Dispenza, the guy's book that I read at the very beginning in 2012, and I met him at a TED Talk in Tacoma, Washington, and he said something to me. He said, to be empowered, to be free, to be unlimited, to be creative, to be genius, to be divine, that is who you are. And once you feel this way, memorize this feeling and remember this feeling. This is who you really are. And guys, I'm going to tell you that really hit home for me, because I had struggled with failure and success and not knowing what to do or where to go, or having a taste of it, these $1 million businesses, then having nothing and being, bankrupt and nearly homeless. And there was this feeling that I wanted to have that I knew I could have if I really worked for it. And I finally was able to get it. And that's what I want to give to other people, is that feeling of being a best-selling author, that feeling of being on top of your game, that feeling of having control of your own destiny. And that's what I want to share with everyone that I meet. And so, and then I started meeting other people. Met Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. He's part of a mastermind that I'm a part of. He told me being born into poverty does not mean you are condemned to spend the rest of your life in poverty. And it really, hit home for me, because, this guy was worth $500 million. And he reached back to someone like me and was really able to give me some tools to change my life and help me, make a difference in people's lives. So I learned a lot from him as well. And so I spent 4 years in meditation, created multiple websites, and I waited. So I was off chasing my dream, and I waited. And my first attempt was was, how to get over someone and find the relationship you deserve. I wanted to help with relationships. And so, this is my first attempt. And so it's kind of funny to look back on now because I had no idea what I was doing really. I had bought courses and kind of studied, but I didn't really know, what it meant to have, an online business really at that point. This was my first kind of attempt, and it's embarrassing to share with you guys, but I believe everyone starts somewhere. We all were beginners once, and so no customers, no one came because I didn't know how to do anything with it. And I spent $6,500 getting the site developed and launched, and it was just crickets. And I was quickly running out of money. And I don't know if you guys have ever can relate to that. You've ever been there, with trying to launch something, trying to get something going, but honestly, I had no idea what to do. And I realized, that was not my dream, but I had a choice. I could step in fear, right? There right now, Jared says, laugh out loud. Yep, same thing, right? That's kind of where I was, right? It's like I built this thing up and it didn't work at all. And it was like I spent all this time and, Max, yeah, been there. You get it, like you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like you build this, you think it's going to sell, right? If you build it, they will come. But I had a choice. I could step into fear and I could let the fear take me over. And I could say, you know what, this isn't for me. I don't know what I'm doing and I'm going to quit, which is what so many people do, sadly. Unfortunately, a lot of people hit that first roadblock and they quit. They just stop. And, and I had another choice, which was I could step into faith. I could believe in myself and believe that something is going to change and that I could keep going, that I just didn't know something yet, that there was something I hadn't learned yet that I could apply and that I could tweak, some realization, some different outlook, some different perception on things that I wasn't aware of yet. And that's what I chose to do. I chose to have faith and just learn some new things and keep trying. And so the key to success, I realized for myself, is that, and I think, for honestly everyone, if you don't know it, it's something that you really want to learn how to do, was that I needed to build authority. I needed to build some authority in my market, and then I needed to find out how to be credible. So people actually wanted to hear what I had to say. People actually wanted to listen to what I was teaching, right? If I didn't have any credibility or authority, no one was going to actually buy my course or my offer or do my coaching or anything, because they're like, who's this guy? I don't know him, and what has he done, right? So I had to build authority. So I literally spent 80 hours per week learning the publishing industry, right? Going reverse engineering the publishing business and how to be an author and researching how to be a best-selling author and a New York Times author and all these different things that I wanted to figure out with the publishing industry on how to do that. And so that's what I did. I studied and I studied and I studied. And that was the beginning of Enlightened Entrepreneurs Academy, where I trained authors and coaches and online entrepreneurs how to build, grow, and scale their business. And that was just kind of a start, right? Because life was good, but I knew I wanted to do more. I wanted to get more specific with giving a specific transformation and really change lives in that way. So I decided to create a course to teach my strategy of launching to bestseller status, of what really helped me, what really was something that gained the most for me. And so Author Alliance was born, and that was something that kind of began at a mastermind retreat, right? It began because these other entrepreneurs were like, dude, how'd you do that? How'd you become a bestseller? How'd you publish a book? How'd you do it so fast? And so I was like, well, hey, I'll teach you guys. You're part of my mastermind. I'll teach you guys. So I started doing this, this course with them and teaching them, and it really just started to blow their minds. And I realized that the things I knew about the industry, a lot of people didn't know that. Like, I thought it was common sense. I thought it was common knowledge. And I realized I had the curse of knowledge. I had something that other people didn't know how to do, yet I thought it was common, so I wasn't sharing it. And so I decided I needed to share it. And so, sales trickled in, posting to Facebook groups and Facebook chatting, giving away tons of free stuff, videos, blogs, etc. Made a few sales, but nothing predictable. And so I discovered the secret launch formula and became a best-selling author, and everything kind of took off from there. And sales went up because I built the right funnel in place with my book and with the strategy that I teach, here, is that, there's a right way to do it. And so, I started helping a ton of people, and people started getting, some good feedback from it. And so, from my books and from my courses and from everything. And that gave me the confidence to really get up out there and really make a difference in people's lives and bring this to the public. And so, we started generating over hundreds of thousands of dollars with that one system. And I wanted to reverse engineer it, make sure it was something that I could do for others, not just for myself, because it was something that really mattered to me, that it could be applied in different niches. And so, here's the truth. I've done a lot of things right. and I've done a lot of things wrong, and I try to learn from those successes. And even though I had to discover success the hard way, I wanted to let you guys cheat and take the easy way. So the hard way really is hiring a publishing firm, right? I spent $3,500 hiring a publishing firm that had no promise of anything, no promise of marketing or any guarantee of any kind of business around it, just that they would put my book on Amazon. That was literally it. And I paid them $3,500, and I've yet to get that money back, and they never helped with a thing. Not editing, not formatting, not anything. I spent 4 years writing my first book, and that was the hard way because I didn't know how to write a book or how to structure it. And so I spent 4 years doing it because no one was there to guide me. And now my second book I did in 60 days. And I've helped others do it in 60 days as well. And then I invested in tens of thousands to have it done for you, right? That's usually anywhere from $10,000 to $24,000 to have someone write a book for you. For most people out there, most courses out there, it's extremely expensive. Or hoping it launches correctly, right? You hope that you get some stuff out there. There's no real strategy for it. Or thinking I'll be the next Tony Robbins without effort, right? Everyone, we think we're going to be this Tony Robbins or this Eckhart Tolle or someone out there, Darren Hardy or something, without any effort behind it. And that's just not the case, right? It takes a strategy, it takes a plan. And so, since focusing on the easy way, the Secret Launch Formula has created a simple process for becoming an authority and having that credibility that I can have for myself and I can have for others. And now I have this growing tribe of awesome people who respect me and want my advice, masterminds and different groups out there, made more money than my friends ever thought I could, and don't rely on anyone for my business to really grow or succeed. That's really in my own hands, and I can control my destiny in that way. And I get to travel and spend time with my family and play at the beach more, which is what I really wanted to do in the beginning anyways. It's really be of service, but enjoy my life at the same time. And so I want to take a little second and ask you guys, what could your life look like 12 months from now if you were a best-selling author and had that credibility and that authority and were invited to be on masterminds and podcast talks and had a business that was funding your life around that you had an income that was built around that book. And so you had that credibility authority, but you also had an income built around that. And I want to ask, what would that look like for you guys? You can go ahead and type in the chat box, how would that feel and what would you think and where would your life be at if that was the case? If that was a reality, what would you really feel? And what would that experience be like 12 months from now, right? It doesn't even have to take 12 months. It could take 12 weeks, which is really what I do for most people. But I want to ask, what would it be like a year from now when you have all that done, you have that stream of income, you have that credibility, you have that authority? Max says freedom. Yeah, freedom is absolutely correct. And freedom is something that I think we're all kind of wanting to move forward with and build our lives around, right, is having that freedom. Jared says, I'd be living in Maui, staying in the Jewel of Kahana, would have to convince Campbell to let me rent it. Hey, I'm with you on that. That's one of my favorite places in the entire world is Maui. I usually stay at Kaanapali Beach Hotel, and kind of play at the beach there. That's one of my favorite places to be in the whole world. So I'm with you. Kahana is beautiful as well. David said it would feel great to level up and help more people. And that's right, David. It's something that if you have that authority, you're really, you are leveling up. You are, building that authority and serving. You have this, thousands of mini Davids and mini Jareds and mini Maxes and Jessicas working all for you throughout the day and night, putting your thoughts and perspective into other people's minds. And how cool of a thing is that to have this little marching army kind of running around for you, doing that work and sharing your message. So, if you're ready and you want to see the easy way to launch or grow any business in any market, then I'm going to go ahead and dive right in here. So the 3 secrets are, writing. Number 1 is writing a book. Best-selling book can be done in 60 days or less. So I'm going to reverse engineer how that process is done. How to outline and publish without spending $3,500 or $10,000 on a self-publishing company, and really the easy way to do that. And then author alliance and why the follow through is what builds the business, because that's really the big thing, is the follow through, is the big part of it is the business around it. So you have that stream of income to write more books or create a bigger message or be a public speaker or, do whatever it is you want to do on the back end of having that book. And so secret number 1, writing a best-selling book can be done in 60 days or less. I'm going to dive right in here. So the thing is, my first book, The Human Experience, took me 4 years to write because I started and I stopped and I had to come up with ideas and I had to brainstorm things and I had to
think of what the concept was going to be, and I didn't know where to put what, and I changed the name 7 times, and I did all this stuff because I had no guidance. I had nowhere to go. And after I went through that process, I reverse engineered that process to make it simplified and easy, and what worked best and what maximized the time. And so my second book, Enlightened Entrepreneurs, took 60 days of literally talking, and I did not write a single word. And that's part of the number one thing I want to share with you guys right here, is that you don't have to write anything down to be an author. And that's something that they always think is, I'm not good at writing. I don't have the time to write. I'm a busy entrepreneur. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I have these online courses. I'm a trainer, whatever it is, right? I build funnels, whatever you do. You don't have to actually spend time writing. You can actually talk it into a voice recorder and really reverse engineer it by transcribing it that way. So most authors have no real plan on how to get people to buy their stuff, right? And really, get them to have that authority. So they're like, hey, I'm interested in your course or your coaching or whatever it is, right? They have no real plan on that. And so that's what we want to talk about is, how I've used and taught my techniques for like LinkedIn, cold calls, cold email, networking. These kind of like old school guerrilla marketing things can work, but they kind of suck, right? Like they're kind of hard to sit there and like Facebook message and LinkedIn message everyone over and over again to try to get that business and get that plan going. And the secret launch formula is something that most people can enjoy because it's simple and easy and a powerful way for others to grow their business. And so when you have the concept, right, we can talk about the concept for a sec. When you have the concept, you don't have to think of this crazy idea. Like, what are you good at? What are you doing right now? And a prime example of this is, I have an online business where I sell, things on Amazon as well that I built for my mom because I wanted to get her online. And so I built her an Amazon store. And, my coach for that, I have a coach for everything because I believe you should have a coach for everything. And my coach for my Amazon store was telling me how, he wanted to join my course, and have me coach him on how to write a book. And so he goes, oh, I thought about writing a book on my tree business that I used to have, or, these thoughts I had on this. And I'm like, dude, your thing is Amazon, right? You're an Amazon coach and you have a $80,000 a month Amazon business. So write a book on Amazon FBA. And it's that simple, right? What are you doing right now in your business? What is your business around? What is your online course, your coaching, or whatever it is? What are you doing? That's your book, right? That's your concept. And then to outline it, right, you want to take, 3 sections and break each section down to 3 chapters, and then you're gonna just reverse engineer it, right? So you have 9 chapters all within 3 different sections. What's section 1 about? Well, what do they need to know first? What's section 2 about? What do they need to know next? And what's section 3 about? Well, what do they need to know to take action on it, right? So you're building beliefs and you're breaking beliefs over and over again. And that's how you have a concept and an outline for your book, is just really, what are you really good at right now? What is your business built around? And what can you build a business around for your book? And so that's what you want to think about. You outline each chapter, right? Again, like I said, breaking beliefs first and then building new beliefs. So you're going to outline each chapter and then divide up the work, right? Just like a course or a coaching program, think of it as a 9-week coaching program that you're doing, or a 9-week course, but instead it's 9 chapters in a book. What's the first thing they have to know? Well, that's chapter 1. What's the second thing they have to know? Well, that's chapter 2. What's the third thing? And so on and so forth. And so that's how you really break up a book really easily, is you just think of it that same way of, I just can break their beliefs of what they thought they knew about my industry or about my business and about myself, about who I am as a person, what I teach. And then I can reiterate a new concept that I learned that works for me, that works for my clients, et cetera, and break it down like you would a course or a coaching program. And then from there, you speak it. I have this picture of this guy speaking, right, at a public event. And this is, so one of those guys in the mastermind. But from there, you want to record it. You can record yourself talking out each section. And how you do that is by asking some questions. What is the question they would ask you? What would your ideal customer ask you? Right? And then think of that question and then record yourself answering that question. And that's how you fill up your content, right? Because you can reverse engineer it that way and really dive in. And so becoming a best-selling author helps you build that amazing authority and allow you to give first. And that's the key advantage, right? If you are out there and you're trying to go get clients and go sell things, you're really not going to succeed. You're going to fail. You need to give first, right? Part of why I do webinars, I do free trainings, and I give away my books as ebooks first is because I want to give people value. I want to over deliver on the value, because the reality is when someone comes to you and you over deliver on the value up front for free, I guarantee when you make your offer, they're going to say, you know what, this guy really gave me, or this gal really gave me so much for free. I can only imagine what they'll give me in a paid course or a paid coaching program, right? So you want to over deliver the value first in your book or your course or whatever it is. Give them as much as you can for free, and then let them know where they can get more. And I guarantee you a lot of people are going to want to take you up on that because you over delivered so much up front. You know, and people come ready to make a change. When you're giving free value, people come ready to make a change in their lives. They're going to read your book. They're ready to learn, right? They're grabbing a book because I want to learn. No one reads because they're not interested. They read because they're interested, and they're becoming a part of you, and you're putting your mind and your perception and your belief system inside theirs. And how powerful is that, where you can translate who you are and what your business is about into someone else's mind, and let it become part of their belief system. And so they're ready to make a change in their life. And it's the best way, honestly, to launch a brand new untested service in any market is to have a book around it, because it makes it an event. It makes it a big, huge to-do versus just, hey, come buy my thing. It's an event, like a product launch. You have a book launch. And so that's part of what a book does for you in that same way. And the bottom line is, I believe the formula needs to be one of the foundational revenue streams to any business. You know, having a book, like I said earlier, is kind of, you know, like that, you know, entrepreneur's kind of diploma, right? It's that first thing they really should have is a diploma. And so the formula is the easiest way to generate online income today, in my opinion. And, you know, a lot of people ask me, will it work for my business? Well, you know, I've helped people that are MMA trainers write a best-selling book. I've helped people that are, you know, personal trainers or marketing, you know, internet marketers, or, you know, people that are about the education system, or coaches, consultants, I mean, teachers. You know, I've helped dog trainers write their own best-selling book. Like, it doesn't really matter what business you're in, because that is something that you can build that authority with, right? You can have that kind of authority in your market, in your niche. And so, especially if you're not, you know, in a specific hard niche to get in, it can really even help more so, because there's probably less people in that industry. So it's a huge thing to have that work for your business. And I really think it can work for any business. And so, if you guys want to, you can answer in the chat box. You know, what kind of business do you run? What kind of business do you have right now? And we can talk about that for a sec, just kind of what business you have, and how to structure a book around that business. And I'll give you guys some pointers right now while we're live on this training, so that way you guys can be able to, you know, take it, run with it right now, and make sure that it's something that will apply to your niche and to your business. You know, and so if you answer in the chat box, you know, what kind of business do you run is kind of the question there, and we'll see, you know, if it applies, and what kind of book you could write, and what would really make a huge difference, you know, for your niche and for your business there, because I think honestly it builds authority in any tribe and in any business. You know, you can kind of have that credibility and that authority. So, you know, type away in the chat box and let me know what kind of business, you know, you run. And so, you know, attempting to run 3, Jared says: music production, fiction writing, first book done, digital marketing. Okay, perfect. So that's it, right? And so you can take either one of those, right? You can have your first book, and we can help you launch that. Or, you know, take a digital marketing, write a book on digital marketing, give that away as a free lead magnet, about how to go about digital marketing. Or, you know, your music production, right? I mean, imagine how many people aren't in that industry right now that have best-selling books on music production, right? And that whole concept, that whole genre, and, you know, how to go about producing music. I mean, that's something that's a great lead magnet, and a great thing to get out there, right? That's something you can really do well with. So, you know, again, there's all kinds of different concepts there that you can really structure a book around your business and make it work really well for you and your niche. So, you know, it works great for, you know, whether it's digital products or online courses, or, you know, if you're a coach or a consultant, you know, getting done for you services is huge for it. Launching masterminds or workshops, you know, selling tickets to live events or, you know, retreats, getting paid speaking events. If you want to be a public speaker, it's another way to do it. Getting TV, podcasts, radio interviews, again, another way to have that. And the secret is out, guys. Like, the secret has been found out because it works, and a lot of people are in that in this industry making it happen. And so, you know, an example is, you know, what's the intent for publishing? What's the intent behind what you want to do. And I want you to think about that. Like, why do I want to be a best-selling author? And what do I want people to do once they read my book? Where do I want them to go? What is the next step once they read my book? Is there a website in there? Is there a free training in there? Is there some kind of next step for them to take to get to know me better? Because that's the levels of this, right? The book is step 1, and then the free training is step 2, and then, you know, so on and so forth. You get them closer and closer to you until they're in a mastermind, a retreat, or a workshop with you, and you can really do your magic with them. And so think about that. And so an example is, you know, photography. You know, they can do $5,000, you know, wedding clients via webinars, or, you know, whatever it is. You can do a $987 course, how to take amazing photos with expensive gear, $3,000 coaching, you know, $147 a month membership site plus Facebook group, $187 a month, you know, live event. Yeah, so Jared said, I want them to succeed through the resources I provide, ultimately a lead magnet for my funnels. Beautiful, Jared. That's exactly right. And so, and you take them steps by steps through your funnel, right? They have a free lead magnet, and they go to like some kind of training, and then all of a sudden they buy like an inexpensive, you know, $147 a month membership site, and now they move up to a $1,000 course. Then they move up to coaching or done for you services or mastermind, and you go up that ascension ladder, right? You build them up that ascension ladder with the book being the first part, and then eventually they're in different levels of getting to connect with you. And so there's all kinds of options, from masterminds to consulting packages, tons of stuff you can do with having a best-selling book that you can lead them to. And if you don't have anything to sell today, that's okay, because you can offer a 4 to 6 week live weekly training, just like you would sell an already made course, and kind of build it as you go. Start the date 2 weeks out from the time you launch your book. Host live group calls, present your information, and create the content 1 week at a time. And this is a brilliantly effective way to give your first group of people extra attention to make sure they get the results that you want. And then you kind of build that credibility up, and you test your market, make sure it works, and then it really moves forward. You know, and so this is kind of a checkpoint, right? I want to kind of just stop and make sure, do you guys see how this is possible for you to kind of take it, outline 3 sections, outline, you know, 3 chapters per section, record yourself answering those questions, and really fill up, you know, your own book. You guys see how that's possible to kind of have a book and then have it follow through with a course or a coaching or a membership site, or, you know, kind of a training thing there. You guys kind of see how that's possible for you. I want to make sure that I'm not leaving anyone behind. And if I'm missing anything here, make sure to answer, you know, or say in the chat box. You know, Jared says yes. Okay, cool. You know, if there's anything that I'm, you know, not saying that you guys kind of want answers to, I'll probably get to it in the rest of the training. But I just want to make sure we're all on board right now, and that everyone is following through with what I'm saying. It's making sense. It seems doable, and it's not, you know, so as impossible as it seems. And so secret number 2 is, you know, how to outline and publish without spending $3,500 to $10,000 on a self-publishing company. And so, like I said, talk instead of write. David says, yep, okay, cool. So we're on board here. So talk instead of write. You know, so this is the big secret that a lot of people don't talk about. This is how I was able to take 4 years and shrink it down into, Jessica says, making sense. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're all on board here. A little bit of a time delay. So if I answer or I say something about your question or your answer, you know, kind of behind a little bit, no worries. I'm going to keep, you know, reading comments and answering as they come in and as I see them in the chat box. But secret number 2 is talk instead of write. So once you have your 3 sections and you have your 3 chapters per section, or however many chapters you want to write, you want to do an interview series type thing. And like I said, this is how I've gone from 4 years of writing process down to 60 days, is that I outlined the book first, and then I took every section and every chapter, and I made questions for that thing. And I decided on what was the question they would need to ask me for me to deliver the content in an answer that I really wanted to do. And then I recorded myself answering the question. And when you record yourself, you're going to get tons of content out there, and on you know, audio, which you can transcribe into text. And so you're going to get tons of content. You can fill a book up within a couple months there and have that book totally written for you, because you're talking it instead of having to write it handwritten, because some people aren't great at writing. Some people don't have the time to write. Some people think too much about what they're going to write, and they don't write anything at all. And they get this analysis paralysis type thing going on. And so you want to talk instead of write. And so guys, this is a huge secret, and this is normally something, like I said, that I charge for to teach people how to do, but I'm giving away for free because I really want to over deliver my content here and make sure you guys are getting the most out of this training. And so that's a huge thing. Once you have an outline, record yourself speaking. And then, the old ways is that, you used to have to handwrite everything and write these manuscripts. It was 4 or 5 years to publish a book. And, and this is really how I went from 4 years to 2 months. That's a huge change. That's a huge change. 48 months down to 2. That's a big difference, guys. And that's usually how it is for most people, because you can record yourself doing this instead of having to handwrite everything. And so most industries are not competitive enough in terms of understanding the ability to shortcut the process. So they're not aware enough on how to do this. And so you can kind of get an early advantage in your niche and be one of the first to do this. And you can pump out content left and right and have that authority, have that credibility before everyone else does. And so let's say I teach people how to run a profitable gym business. Well, I go ahead and I can target any person in the U.S. I can find my range, 20 to 53 years old. Is it men or women? Well, it's both. Or it's, income level over 50,000, target any education level, high school grad or better. And I can find any page. And this is how you find out. What I'm telling you here is like, this is really Facebook marketing 101. But what I'm telling you this for is that it's really for targeting your ideal demographic, for who you're writing the book for. Who is your audience that you're really writing the book for? Because I want you to write it to a specific ideal customer. Think of that one customer and really write your heart out for that customer and help them, because then that's gonna translate into thousands of people that are like your ideal customer. And and then you're targeting Facebook groups, gym owners, personal trainers, fitness. And you can kind of reverse engineer this on Facebook or Google and find out what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what their pain points are, and then write a solution for them in your book. And so it's never been easier to get your message in front of your perfect audience with a best-selling book, right? Because you're writing the book for them, and now you can target them directly with who you want to see it. And so once you have your ideal client in mind, your outline is done, you record yourself speaking, you transcribe your speech to text, and boom, you have a book. You have a book done. And so here's our little secret, is that Amazon has now made it easy enough for anyone to be able to get online and publish. You don't need to be an ads expert to use the world's greatest platform and use Amazon to your advantage and have it on there. You can actually publish, your own book on Amazon and have it be done. And so, now is this amazing time to use Amazon to launch your authority, get a return on your investment, and become a best-selling author and really, really establish that credibility online. And so secret number 3 is author alliance, and why the follow through, through builds the business. Because the truth is, what do I choose once I have a book? How do I launch, and what's the strategy, and do I do this or that? Or, there's all these different courses and systems and everyone trying to tell you a lot of misinformation. And so, I want to say there's really too many options, but it's really quite simple. What if you knew exactly what to do to grow your business every day and had that kind of confidence, in your business? Well, that's the power of having systems. So I want to talk a little bit about systems real quick in secret number 3, because, when you have a system for launching and for writing, you can really scale your business, and you can do this over and over again on repeat. It's not just a one-off type thing. It's a repeat type thing. So lather, rinse, repeat. This is something that one of my mentors, Dave Rogan-Moser, taught me, and I'm helping him write his own book right now. And it's lather, rinse, repeat. Planning an MVP launch, learning, optimizing, and tweaking, and then relaunching with improvements. So we do a soft launch, we learn, optimize, tweak, and we relaunch all the way through. And that's kind of the LRR method there. And so, the key to success there is to take the tasks that you're handling right now and really put them into a system, right? For launching, for scaling, for all of it. And you want to really get all the important items from the left circle into the right circle, right? You want to move everything into a system so that way you can scale your business, whether it's your funnel, your book launch, any of that needs to be into a system. And so, Tuesdays we'll have the outline and record, right? Wednesdays we'll edit and review. Thursdays we'll publish and launch. So, we have this kind of system in the Author Alliance to where you can have the automatic email follow-up to increase scheduled calls or attendees or purchase rates pre or post your launch, over and over again. Jared said, this is huge. Good, Jared. I'm glad. I'm trying to over-deliver here, man. I'm trying to make sure you guys get the most out of this, so I can really make sure I'm over-delivering for you. So I'm glad this is helping and really making a difference there. So yeah, so you have the automatic email follow-up, and you increase the scheduled calls or attendees or purchase rate pre or post, whatever it is. You have that launch with your book, with your funnel, with whatever it is. And then you have the automatic Facebook retargeting before the next week. So it's really, narrowing your niche to your correct audience, right? And so why the Author Alliance? Well, it gives us authority in the market, right? It gives us time to improve our product and make our clients happy by getting them results. And let's just play in the sand, hang out, and do happy hour, right? Like Kahana Beach, right? Like Jared wants to do, right? It lets us travel and really enjoy our life so we have a scalable business without having to be there 24/7 and really have to, be that hands-on like we always are. And so we know exactly what to do and what not to do each day. And that's really the big part of it. And then we do things really well once, and then we can add them to the system, right? Do them really well once, and we can add them to the system. And we don't have to constantly try to reinvent the wheel over and over again. We can add them to the system over and over again. So, what happens, if you become the chased by building authority in your market? Well, I got to say, sales increase. When you have that credibility, you have that authority, you are the talking head, you are the guru all of a sudden, right? Like before I had a best-selling book, I wasn't able to go into those Facebook groups or go into those places or meet with these masterminds and have that kind of credibility. Now I can walk in and I do the trainings. I went from listening at the masterminds, paying thousands of dollars to attend, to being paid to talk at them and be on the other side of the table. And that's what a best-selling book does for your business, and having that credibility and authority. So another checkpoint here, do you see how simple and powerful this is? And wouldn't it be nice to have that happen in your business each week? And so I want to stop and just make sure that you guys are on this. We're getting close to wrapping up everything, and I just want to make sure that I have a few more things to talk about, and I want to make sure that everyone's on track, and that this is making sense for Jared and Max and Jessica and David and everyone else in attendance right now. I want to make sure that this is really happening for you guys, and this is making sense. I know Jared said this is huge and he's getting something out of it. I want to make sure we're all on board here, and that you can go ahead and type in the chat box and let me know that this is really making sense for everyone, and that I'm not talking over anyone, or I'm not making sense, and I'll explain anything that is not done correctly or not said correctly, because I want to make sure you guys get the most content out of this, and that we're really having it. Jared says making sense, creating systems are gigantic for success. This is very true. Max says, I'm a bit confused about how the alliance works. Okay, Max, thank you for saying that. I'll make sure I dive in and explain the alliance and what that is, and really clear that up for you there as well, and make sure that it's all making sense for you. And Jessica says, yes, she's making sense out of it. It's all getting there. Okay, so cool. But my system froze up and I had to log back in. So what Max said, okay, Max, I'll dive into the Author Alliance a little bit here for you and make sure I clear that up for you so we can make sense for it. So I hope you guys are enjoying the workshop so far. I hope it's been jam-packed with some great content, some great value for you. And, to recap what it is, and I'll dive in and talk about the Author Alliance, is, writing a best-selling book can be done in 6 days or less, how to outline, publish, and publish without spending $3,500 to $10,000, from a self-publishing company. And then the Author Alliance, and why the follow-through is what builds the business. And so the past 45 minutes, I think you guys would agree it's been spent pretty well so far. I can't cover everything you need in an hour webinar. Obviously, even if we had all day, it would be hard to dump everything in it. But I have a special offer that I want to talk about, and really diving in to what the Author Alliance is. And I think you guys are going to love that. And so I'll really clarify what that is. That's the Author Alliance, and I want to tell you what that is. And so it's not necessarily a course or an online program like a lot of things out there. It's a boot camp. It's a get down and dirty and really take action type thing. It's a boot camp. It's 6 weeks live with me and my team, and then 6 weeks after that where we help you put everything together and make sure it all works. So really 12 weeks total live with me and my team. What you're going to get really inside of it is, the Author Alliance is kind of how to build a system that works for you, full weekly funnel system blueprint, how to outline, structure, and build your program or offer, optimal days and times and intervals for your funnel system, how to make this happen week after week in any market. I include the Funnel Mastery Plus Clone, so the best-selling book funnel, so you can launch and scale. I know for me, this is something that was huge because Russell Brunson made $800,000 in 26 days off this exact funnel that I'll be using, that I've used, that my clients use, and that's what I want to share with you guys on that. You copy and paste our highest converting registration page, thank you page, webinar page, VSL, coaching, strategy session, product launch. All of it is kind of included there. So you can copy and paste it into your account there. And really, you get everything to launch there. Setting up the technology using what works best today, not what worked best in the past. Copy and paste email page strategy to boost sales. At this point, you'll have a strategy mapped out and feel completely confident in executing that kind of funnel mastery. And so it's kind of a deep dive on what you're going to get there. Is the Client Accelerator blueprint for it and the Author Alliance blueprint for it, Funnel Mastery plus Clone. And then a lot of people said, what else do you need? That's a $4,400 value. What else do you need? Really what people said is how to make sales, right? So I have my book done. I have my best-selling book done. I have my Client Accelerator blueprint. I have my Author Alliance blueprint. I have my emails and my funnels. How do I make sales? So that's the secret launch formula, how to create a winning sales strategy, phone sales strategy, how to present your sales without sounding awkward, boring, or salesy, how to fix any underperforming ads and boost sales without redoing and tweaking everything over and over again. And then even if you don't have a product, right, I throw in the first 2 weeks, I personally help everyone create one. They don't have a product yet. And so, again, the Author Alliance blueprint, Funnel Mastery plus Clone, so you get all the funnels included inside there, the secret sales formula, secret launch formula, digital product creation, which is $997, and then so total really is $64.88. And again, so it doesn't stop there because, like I said, I like to over deliver value. So I asked everyone who took my trainings, took my course, what else do you need? What else could I give you that would make you successful and make you feel satisfied and happy with everything? And so they said getting the traffic. They said, how do we get the traffic, right? How do we actually get traffic to our program and to our book and to our course and to our coaching? How do we actually get traffic? And so I decided to add in Facebook Ads Mastery. It took me years to learn Facebook, from pixels to custom conversions to basics. No more boosting posts for $5, but retargeting and all of it, right? Audience targeting techniques to how to find and narrow your niche so you're in front of the right audience. How to write amazing ad copies, so your images, your words, images that convert, making sure that it all makes sense for you, and so you can actually use this in any form of business. This is probably a whole standalone course right here, but I wanted to include it because I want to make sure everyone could get the most out of their book and their book funnel and their book launch and build that business around it. And so, creating significant split test, the 80-20 principle, how to make sure you maximize your split test and really upscale. And this is all recorded in there for you. Launching ads and budgeting, how to increase your budget. Know that. Jared says he knows the ad stuff and it has to work. It's how I got here. Exactly. Jared knows it. So that's good. So a lot of people don't. So I want to make sure I added it in. But if you know it already, you're a pro, you're good, you know how to handle it. And then how to scale effectively. So even if you never run a single Facebook ad in your life, this will work for you. I really reverse engineer the process so you know how to do it and make it simple and easy to use. And so again, what's included there is all of this. The Author Alliance, Funnel Mastery plus Clone, Secret Launch Formula for bestseller status, digital product creation, Facebook Ads Mastery. So far, we're at a total value of $84.85. And again, I like to over deliver. I didn't want to leave it there. It felt like, what else do you guys need? And I kept going back to my clients and to my, my mastermind groups and saying, hey, here's what I included, but what else am I missing? Is there anything else I'm missing? And they said, how about email sequences? How about some copywritten, from a copywriter email sequences? So I decided to add in the thank you emails, the indoctrination emails, the day of reminder email swipes, and all of it in there. So people really had the benefit of, having the cart closing emails, all the launch stuff for the book funnel. And so it really made sense for them and that they could really use this to their advantage. So if someone lands on this page, they get that email and so on and so forth. And so, I paid thousands of dollars to have a professional copywriter create these emails for me. And then I tweaked them myself and I tested them with different clients and I made sure they were the best. And so that's really what it is there. And I wanted to make sure I gave you guys the rights to use these for yourself and tweak them however you want for your niche so you could have it all for your business. And so I'm giving you everything you need to create, launch, and profit from a best-selling book every single week using a proven system and process that you can duplicate and put into whatever niche you have. And you're going to set all this up with the help of my team and me for 6-week live training and then 6 weeks follow-up after that where we'll be able to work together. So it's really a 12-week kind of program there. And so the trainings are every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, where we do a live Q&A training and we dive deep into everything. And then people always ask, well, what if I can't make the live call? You know, I have other things. I have clients and appointments. Don't worry. Everything will be recorded and given to you in the membership site, so you can have every kind of training that we do. And then additional bonus trainings are included in there. And so to really summarize, again, you know, I wanted to add in everything I could that I could possibly think of. And really, you know, it's the Author Alliance Blueprint, Funnel Mastery Plus Clone, Secret Launch Formula, digital product creation, Facebook ads mastery, email swipe files plus autoresponder map, 12 weeks live with me and my team. So really a value of $11,479. I wanted to over deliver and give everything. And if all it did was finally get you a best-selling book that built authority so you were profitable and made sales each week, I think it would be worth it. I mean, maybe not to you guys, but I can't see how it couldn't be. And every author and every entrepreneur I've helped, they've really succeeded and loved it. So I think it's definitely worth it. And if it gives you total control over your business to grow, win, and how much you want, would it be worth it? And I think, honestly, it really would. And if it helped you get the business idea out of your head and into a reality, that book or that idea or that concept really into reality, I think it would really be worth it. So, you know, you have two choices, just like I did. You know, I could have gone as cheap as possible and sell as many as possible. It wouldn't incentivize me to really stack the value, though. The second option was require higher investment, but in exchange, I devote more resources to guarantee success. So I wanted to ask, you know, what was one profitable funnel worth to you guys with a book funnel, right? Is it 5K a month? Is it 15K a month? To have that authority to do podcasts, to do TV, to do masterminds, to have that credibility. What's it really worth? And how much would you pay to have that kind of credibility and authority and a funnel that worked for your business? One best-selling book plus one perfect funnel that you could duplicate over and over again. And so this system cost me $53,000. That's what it really cost me to learn everything, to build everything, to test everything, and make sure it worked for myself and my clients. And it's maybe over $362,000. So I would say it's well worth it, and it's well worth the investment for me. And you can see why a lot of people, like, they pay me for consulting to do this, $11,000 they pay me just to work with them one-on-one to provide this kind of consulting for them. But because it's a cost, it's not a cost, it's an investment. So that's why they feel comfortable with it, because it gives them the turnaround. And so you can see why after this kind of boot camp style is finished, it's going to go for $6,000, and it would still be a good deal even at $4,000. But because you guys are kind of the initial boot camp members, and you know we've already tested it with multiple entrepreneurs, and I wanted to kind of give value up front, you guys can get started today for $15.97 or 4 installments of $4.97 just from visiting authoralliance.co/launch. And really get going today. And so that's kind of what I wanted to make sure I offer you guys what the Author Alliance is. It's a group of us that come together, all successful entrepreneurs, all people that are really top in their industry, really getting the best-selling book out there, building credibility, building authority, and making it happen for themselves. And now, you know, you have those two choices, right? The first option is do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Or, you know, second option is pony up the small investment today compared to all the value you'll get in return, and just give it a shot, right? Just give it a shot and give it a try and find out if it'll work for you, because I think it will, like it has every other client of mine and myself included. And so, you know, like Dave Rogenmoser here, right? He's a successful internet marketer and entrepreneur, founder of Pivot and Scale. You know, he's just someone that you can't possibly recommend the training, you know, while he's still offering it. Corey's a real deal, and one of the few who knows what he's talking about. That's from Dave Rogenmoser, who I really look up to and admire, and I really appreciate those kind of kind words, because, you know, it means a lot that I made a difference in his life, that he's willing to really comment and share that and show that kind of difference there. So, and then there's AJ, you know, who's another successful entrepreneur. He's a fitness business mentor and internet marketer there, and you know, founder of Trainer Alliance. And you know, this guy, you know, he talked about, you know, when I helped him with his book, you know, in the first hour he worked with me, his entire mind was blown, and he's halfway done with his book with plans to get a second one done in the next 6 months. And he's been a paying client of mine that's really just, you know, done the work himself, but listened to the things I've taught him and made it happen. And so, you know, that's the kind of success stories I want for you guys. and I want to have happen for, for Jared, for Max, for Jessica, for David, for, everyone on the call today. That's the kind of success I want for you guys. And there's a 14-day guarantee. So if you sign up today and for any reason at all, no catch, 14 days, you just get inside, we talk, we get in the Facebook group, and you just don't want it anymore, 100% risk-free, back to you. So I just want to make sure that that's there so you guys have that, because I'm not going to hold you hostage or anyone else hostage. If you get in and you don't like it, 100% back to you. But I guarantee that you're not gonna want that. I think once you get inside, you meet the group of entrepreneurs that are a part of this, you're gonna really love it, and I think you're gonna want to stay for the long haul. And that's authoralliance.co/launch. And so, if you have questions or you end up buying, you want that refund, just email Corey@CoreyGladwell.com. Get your refund process immediately. And I think that's pretty fair, guys. I think that's fair enough to make sure that you get in, you try it out, you like it, you don't like it, you'll know pretty quickly there and find out. So, who is this product perfect for? Well, really anyone with, these are products, courses, coaching, consulting, done for you services, looking to test ideas, selling membership sites. They want to fill live events, be a speaker, do podcasts, whatever it may be. I think it really can benefit you, and you can really have a difference in your career, in your life, and build that authority there. And you can get started, like I said, for just $15.97 today, or 4 installments of $4.97. And so, it looks great, but it's just not the right time for me. It's something that a lot of people say, right? You get that kind of thing. And I want to tell you, money loves speed, right? If you're wondering if it's the right time, well, money loves speed, and it's going to love you investing and taking action, because then you're going to be invested. And guess what? When you're invested, you're going to make action happen, and you're going to take action yourself, and you're going to really go above and beyond to make it happen because you're invested. And so one of the keys to Richard Branson's success is he would ask these 2 questions. He would always say, what's the worst possible scenario? And then he would say, if that scenario happens, can I handle it? And so you got to ask yourself, on both sides of the spectrum here, what's the worst possible scenario if you buy it, right? If you invest in it, if you join it, if you purchase it, if you are invested in the program. The worst case scenario is that you don't like it, and within 14 days, you're back to exactly where you are now, refunded with no questions asked. And if that scenario happens, can you handle it? Well, I think you can handle that, right? There's no harm, no foul, no risk involved. But on the other side, which this is what I really want you to think about, what's the worst possible scenario if you don't invest today, if you don't join today and really make it happen for yourself, and you don't become a best-selling author, and you don't have a business built around it? What's the worst case scenario there? Well, you're stuck kind of where you are. And the credibility isn't there, and the authority isn't there, and all of that doesn't happen. And so if that's the worst case scenario, can you handle that? And so that's what I want you to really take into consideration is if you don't take action today and don't really make anything happen, right? Like, I want you guys to have success, whether it's with me or someone else. I want you to have success. I just know that this works for multiple entrepreneurs out there in every different niche. And so I have faith in it, so I know it can work for you. And so that's why I say, if you don't do it today, what's the worst case scenario that'll happen for others out there, and for yourself if you don't do it? So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, if it does, even half of what I've claimed here today on this training will pay for itself as soon as your first funnel is live. And that's a real question here. And so is it really worth a few minutes to kind of check it out and see what it's all about? And so, again, to recap everything, you get $11,479 in value, included in the entire thing. From the funnel mastery, the blueprint, the launch formula, the Facebook ads mastery, email swipe file, autoresponder, 12 weeks live with my team, $11,000 in value. And at the very end, I'm still going to send you guys a special gift, free 14-day trial to ClickFunnels. Obviously, a lot of you probably already have it because you're friends with Russell Brunson, but the free membership site will be included in there, so you can hop on and have that. And so now you have the same choice I did, right? You guys are at the same place kind of I was when I had the 2 choices to make. I can step into fear and do nothing really and let the fear kind of take me over and not take any action. Or I can step into faith and I can give myself a shot, and I can give my business and myself a break and really step into the unknown and really try and make it happen. And so I hope you guys can choose faith, and I hope you guys can do that and really take action with your business and with yourself. And join me and some other successful entrepreneurs like Dave Rogenmoser and AJ and other guys, and Alan Belcher, who's a UFC fighter who I'm helping right now, and just join the group and connect with them. and go to authoralliance.co/launch and really make it happen for yourself. And like I said, you can get started today for $15.97 or 4 installments of $4.97. Because that's the thing that I really want to make it affordable and make it something that's worth it, but enough investment to where you're committed to taking action, because that I think is really important, to where you'll take action to make it happen. And so some of the questions that I get, if you guys have any questions, type them in the chat box, let me know. I'll make sure to answer the questions myself live while we're here. But some of the questions I get that I'll run through until I hear any questions in the chat box is, how much time per week do I need? Well, we do a 1-hour training, and then I would say maybe an hour or so of recording your book to really make it happen. So I would say like 2 hours per week. If you want to commit more, you can get it done a lot faster, but at minimum 2 hours per week is really what I want you to dedicate yourself to. It would really make it really come alive and make it happen within that 12-week period to have your book published and launched and your funnel up and running. I would say about 2 hours per week. If you want to commit more, you definitely can. And then if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat box. I'll make sure to answer them. What if I don't have a course or product yet? I think I answered that already, but yeah, we can definitely help you build one and build it around the book, with the intention around the book to really make that happen and move forward for you. And then, what ad budget do you recommend to start? Well, you can spend anywhere from $20 to $30 a day up to a couple hundred, depending on what you're comfortable with. And I think once you get it tested with $20 to $30 a day, you'll get some good feedback. You'll be able to build a thank you page. We can do a lookalike audience and really scale up from there to help you get the best, opt-ins for yourself, for your funnel, and really drive traffic to your funnel in the correct way possible. So once you're scaling up, though, then you obviously want to spend as much as you can to really drive your business forward with your funnel there. And so that's just a little brief overview of what the value is. Any questions you guys have, let me know in the chat box. I'll make sure to answer them live. If Jared, Max, Jessica, David, anyone else has any questions, make sure to type in the chat box. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Do I need to know how to run Facebook ads is another question I get. No, you don't. You really don't. I can teach you everything there. Jared already knows, so he's one of the guys that knows how to do that. If you know, great. If you don't, I can teach you literally from starting a business page all the way through scaling up to $1,000 a day and how that looks. Every step of the process, because I've done it myself and I've helped my clients do it as well. What do I need in place before starting? Well, I sent that free trial of ClickFunnels in there. That's really what you need the most. Besides that, you don't need anything else right away. There's variations of how you can launch that I can help you with, but you don't need those right away. Just the ClickFunnels membership for your funnel, for me to transfer everything into your account is probably the easiest thing. The book writing process can be done fairly easily without any additional equipment needed. Do I need an email list or following already? Not necessarily. It's always good to have one, and it helps, but you don't necessarily need one. You can do the launch without one, and I can teach you how to using friends, family, Facebook ads, Facebook groups, all kinds of different things to kind of build that up and build your list up at the same time. Do we get to work with you personally? Yes, I'll be in the Facebook group. I'll be doing the live trainings, and I'll be able to kind of help guide you guys through that. Any of the questions you have throughout the whole process, I'll be there hands-on to make sure this is awesome, and make sure you guys get what you want. Jared said this is absolutely worth it. Ready do you get the one-to-one time with a course owner/runner? There are so many pieces to this. Having a guide can shave years off learning. If I weren't weeks from being on the street, I'd buy it in a heartbeat, Corey. Awesome, Jared. Well, I hope you can find a way to do it. I hope we can find a way to work together. This would be really cool to make happen for you and for everyone else. And I really hope that you can find a way to do it. And I really appreciate the kind words and the feedback. And hope we get to work together someday soon. That would be a great benefit, and we can get you on the beach of Kahana and make that happen. I'll be on Kaanapali, and we can share notes. So another question I get is, do I need a website or Facebook page set up? Yeah, you'll want a Facebook page. The website will be built inside ClickFunnels, and we can build that, kind of help you one-on-one through how to do that with all the trainings inside, and make it happen for you. And if you want it done for you, this is something I don't offer to too many people, but if you have some questions and you want it done for you, you can hop on an accelerator call with me, and you can go to authoralliance.co/application, and I can hop on a one-on-one call with you and talk to you about how to do it for you. If that's something that you don't have time, you want to do it, but you don't have time to do it yourself. Even with the shortened process I just taught you, if you're still saying, hey, I really want to cut this down in time, and I don't want to apply all the work myself. Hop on a call with me. We'll make it happen. I don't take a lot of people on that because I want to dedicate my time to enough people as possible. But that's something we can talk about as well. And so, again, you can get started now for $15.97 or 4 installments of $4.97. And a lot of people say, I'm afraid I'm not ready product-wise. You don't need to be ready. We can kind of build that as we go along with the book and build the product and book at the same time. You get everything you need in here. You get the whole kit and caboodle here, all ready to go for you. And there's not anything I'm leaving out. So, again, I hope we get to work with you guys, and I'll make sure I show you all the tools and all the techniques and everything you need to write, publish, launch a best-selling book, and build a business around it with the funnels, with the email swipe copy, with everything. I'm here for you guys. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the chat box. If not, we'll wrap it up here and make sure you guys are good to go. And I wish you the best of luck, whether it's me or someone else. I really hope you take action and make this happen for yourselves. I really look forward to working with you. I really hope I get to see most of you on the inside. Everyone who typed in the chat box, Jared, Max, David, Jessica, everyone there. I really appreciate you guys being interactive and connecting with me. I want everyone to have the utmost success. And I'm glad I got to connect with you guys for this training. And I hope I can join you guys on the inside at authoralliance.co/launch. And I will see you guys on the inside. All right, talk soon, guys. See you later.